Hello everyone, I'm Extra Cheesy 87 and this is Let's Play AI The Somnium Files Part 24. In the previous video, we learned that, well, we didn't really learn this, but 89, the prisoner who we went to interrogate, has escaped. And Renju has aided him in running away. Now we're supposed to be taking Tessa over to the mob, apparently. I didn't realize that dude wanted her like right that very second, but that's what we're supposed to be doing. Before we do that, I guess we should
catch a skyfish.
Click on stuff.
Next time these magazines get replaced, I'm taking that one.
And the receptionist is not here. We weep.
Date, look! It's a Parastatoda tepidariorum! Hooray!
Say that 5 times fast.
Oh, little Parastatoda tepidariorum!
Okay, that's 2. You gotta do it 3 more times. I have no idea what bug she's talking about.
Oh, that's Quinten Rapcone.
Quit casting damn curses on me.
Oh, I've heard of them.
I'm not even gonna try.
Oh, it's a high table.
Date, I don't understand. You want me to say hi to this table?
That's not what I said.
High table. Magazines on that rack. A plant.
A slipper, usually made of leather.
That's a loafer.
I don't know why that. It really shouldn't make me laugh at this point, but it still kind of does. It's probably an office back there. Oh, well, let me turn all the way to see the picture. Maybe this way? No. Alright, we'll take you to where the dragon is.
To meet the dragon.
The dragon? Like that dragon?
I was told it's not that dragon, but...
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. Like a fantasy world with swords and magic. And you're gonna teleport me there.
Yes, with our car.
Woohoo! I'm getting fired up!
It's a very slow form of teleportation. She didn't completely understand, but I didn't have time to care. Took ours to the Kumakuras. Via teleportation.
Ooh, look at the dragon! So cool! So, this is a crime syndicate building, right?
The Kumakuras are a legitimate business operation.
Yeah, the Kumakuras.
And you were trying to make me believe this was some kind of fantasy world?
No.
I just said we're taking you to the damn dragon. There's one dragon, there's another dragon over there. You can't see him right now, but
That's
he's
what
there.
you thought.
What? Date lied to me!
Date, you bastard! You made Tessa cry!
Ah, she's faking.
Mister, save me! Throw this man into Tokyo Bay!
Got it! I'll have him sleeping with the fishes.
This is an interesting turn of events.
I can hardly believe it. Moma, I held up my end of the deal.
You sure did! You want to hear about Renju?
Mr. Okira?
Now, I retract my statement that you're based in the last video, because I was under the impression you were helping us out of the kindness of your heart, and you didn't want immediate payment. But now you've decided to go for immediate payment, we're adding you back onto the slightly cringe tier.
Hey, Tessa! Let's have a party!
No thanks.
Absolutely destroyed. Eviscerated. By God, that man had a family. At least in his computer. Bronze Dragon.
Lanterns.
Hey, Iris. What do you think of when you see 2 lanterns pushed together?
Huh?
I mean, it kind of looks like something, right?
Not really.
No, really. Picture 2 lanterns pushed together, and you put your face between them. There's something that reminds you of?
Nope.
Lanterns.
What, you mean boobs?
Not really. Not in the slightest. At least not these lanterns.
Damn it, Moma! You're not supposed to say it!
Man, these are what the... I think that's a condition. Your lanterns are looking like that. A set figure hidden in the safe behind it.
Tessa, if you're tired, you can sit on my desk.
Desk,
On your desk.
How many cows did they kill for this?
It's a fake?
Now you've determined that you're a loser in front of her. You should have said at least 17.
Poor thing. What you did to that tiger is awful.
It's a flying squirrel.
Oh, that's fake.
23rd Hot Spring Sommelier exam. Company motto: restaurants will take forever to fill your bottomless drink orders, so order them all up front. Very true. That's pretty true. Chair. Alright, I think we're good. Good enough. And introduce Moma.
Oh yeah, I haven't introduced this old man yet.
Old man. How old are you, Moma? This is the flow chart. It's just not what I want. Take me back. Over under Date and age. I mean, presumably over. 48! Okay, I would not have expected that. I was thinking like 38. So he is definitely an old man. 36. Mermaid. 20. Rat-a-tat, bang bang, and slappy slap. What? Exploiting the vanity of our customers to make huge sums of money? Based, that's pretty based. She's friends with Iris, Mizuki, and Oda. Well, define friends with Oda. Told me he's 37, so Rinju, you're 37, so Date's just like young, presumably. I mean, in comparison to everybody else.
I'm 24!
Absolutely not.
Moma is lying. He is at least 48.
I just read the file, I already know.
Sorry for not introducing
I
myself.
mean, it doesn't look like 48. 40? Yeah. 48?
My name is Moma Kumakura. I work for a prestigious advertising agency.
You run the Kumakura gang, right? You're like a mob boss.
How did you know that?
Is he stupid?
That's what we said when we came in here, dummy.
Moma may not look it, but he's a huge A-set fan.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I'm a huge fan.
Tears, fears.
Gambling.
Rambling?
Debt, A-set!
Worries.
Forget, fret, A-set!
Now what does she say?
A-set, you bet!
Wow, my catchphrase! Thank you!
This is kind of embarrassing.
But sorry, Moma. I don't like gangsters.
Yet you have one as your father figure? Really makes you think. You have to commit real murder.
I don't like gangsters either. Gangsters are awful. All those nasty Yakuza guys should drop dead, am I right?
About Rinju?
What happened to Mr. Okiura?
Well, you know, he's, What hasn't happened to old Rinju, man? He started out, he was like, hey, my wife's died. Oh, that's so sad. And, you know, within 20 videos, we've learned that he actually used to basically commit serial murder against old people to steal their assets.
I heard he escaped the hospital.
So did I. But I don't know anything more than that.
Please tell me?
Rinju's escape from the hospital is strange. 3 things stuck out to me. I laid out the facts. Mizuki was lured to the place where Shoko's body was found by a message sent from Renju's phone. I found Iris's body in Okiura Fishery Cold Storage Warehouse. Oh yeah, Iris died, but then she didn't die, but maybe she did die, but maybe she wasn't actually dead and Date's crazy, or maybe we can change the reality of the world? I don't know. Earlier today, Renju fled with a prisoner, escaping a life sentence, an assassin named 89.
Hold up. What were you saying about Tessa's dead body?
Oh yeah, this is a backup.
Oh, well...
Date saw a parallel world with my dead body in it.
A parallel world?
Never heard of it?
Oh, yeah, of course I have. Yeah, right. Parallel worlds and all that shit. Yeah.
I don't understand it, but I suppose he does.
Good, because I don't feel like explaining it.
But why would Mr. Okiura do that?
Because he's a piece of shit.
I don't know. He could be a hostage or an accomplice. Either way, I need to find him.
Okay, let's save. Take me back. Nice ring.
Why do you care?
Can I have it?
What?
Can I have the ring?
Yeah, Tessa says she wants us to have it.
Why would I give it to you?
Hey, can I have the ring?
Absolutely, of course you can. Here, take it. Wait, no. I can't give you this.
You're so cheap.
Come on, it's not like you're losing it.
It's exactly like I'm losing it.
Aww.
You guys are a good team. Like siblings.
Don't say that curse
Look,
phrase.
a UFO.
That's an ashtray.
Could be a UFO. You gotta apologize to?
Sorry for bringing you here.
It's okay.
You don't have to be scared, Tessa. We're not thugs. We're just a gang.
About as contradictory as meatless beef.
The old boss was really violent.
Yeah, he like, murder people or whatever, but like, I don't murder people, at least not directly.
He would take a cheese grater to someone's leg if they looked at him funny.
But after I took over, we went crystal clean.
Crystal.
Methamphetamines.
No, we don't do drugs. We don't deal with that stuff.
I mean, we do sell it, but like, we don't use it personally.
We had to restructure the whole operation. Cut a lot of people off.
What do you think the severance package is for a Yakuza gang?
Cut?
Do I still get my dental?
Their throats.
No, not like that.
Iris is standing there menacingly. Where are you goons?
They're out, looking for Renju. Besides, I can't have them here seeing me like this.
Good point.
About the Renju tip.
You said on the phone that you saw Renju.
Yeah, I had all my people looking for him.
So, tell me where he is.
I could.
Hey, I held up my end. I brought Iris like you asked.
Date, come here.
Moma took me to the corner of the room. The answer's no.
Date, I don't quite know how to ask this, but
They're short.
can you ask Tessa if I can shake her hand, please?
Oh, that's it? Sure.
Moma and I broke out our huddle. Or broke our huddle.
Iris, could you do me a favor?
A favor?
He wants to see your boobs.
What the fuck, dude? I didn't say that!
Oh, sorry. What I meant was, he wants to shake your hand.
Oh, a handshake. Sure.
I mean, he does want to see the first thing. He just didn't directly ask.
I'd never show my boobs.
Iris took Moma's hand gently and shook it.
Date, this is the happiest day of my life. It feels good to be the boss.
You didn't even take your gloves off, dude. Because it wasn't even any skin to skin.
So how about it?
All right, here it goes. Renju was seen in two places. First, Sunfish Pocket, the Maid Cafe. Second, Ikume Shrine.
Sunfish Pocket and Akume Shrine.
Got it, thanks.
No problem, bro. Really.
Anyway, Moma, take care of Iris for me.
What?
What? Wait! You're leaving me here?
Get ditched.
You'll be safe with him.
He's probably got Shovel Forge on his computer.
Are you serious? Look at his face!
You'll be fine.
Not to mention he runs a crime syndicate. What if he sells me to the highest bidder?
You can just, you know, strap him up by his lip.
Tessa, I would never do that! I told you, we're clean now. We all go home on time, we follow government regulations.
See ya.
Wait! What about Shovel Forge?
I told you I never promised to play with you.
But you promised me a date!
Date! Is this true?
Date?
You son of a bitch!
I'm gonna ignore that.
Good idea.
Date, you're gonna look for Mr. Okiura, right?
Maybe.
Take me with you!
Nah, I mean, we could use a sidekick, but we have Iba.
If you do, I'll tell you about last night.
Her late night visitor.
That was technically 2 nights ago, though, I'm pretty sure.
Fine.
Yay!
Date, don't ignore me!
A clean gang?
Oh, that's just a toy.
Oh, just a toy.
Let's leave them alone for a while.
We have 2 places to check. Sunfish Pocket and Ikume Shrine.
I want to go to the warehouse, too. Where you found my dead body.
You're not coming.
Something bothering you?
No, I'm just curious. Oh, and one more thing. Can we eat somewhere?
You can have some vomit stew.
Food sounds good. I haven't eaten in a while.
Oh, my chest hurts. Getting hard to breathe.
Iris, standing there. Menacingly still. Alright, where do we want to do? Man, I could go for some food, man. Cold storage warehouse?
I saw it. I'm sure. Your corpse, Iris. Right here.
But I'm here now. Maybe I'm a ghost.
You don't look like a floating sheet. You have legs.
I mean, there was a sheet here. Nobody knows what happens to it.
But maybe they're not legs. Maybe they're my boobs.
That doesn't even make any damn sense. Shut the fuck up. I tried to picture Iris's breast swinging down like there. I decided not to.
Didn't you say that you saved me in your dream? What did you mean by that?
I told you that I'm with an organization called Abyss, right?
Okay, so like our eyeball turns into an anime waifu, and then the anime waifu got really big, and then she slapped the guy away.
Yeah, you told me 2 days ago.
We find clues in the minds of suspects and witnesses. We enter what we call Somnium, a dream world projected by their subconscious. That's what the entire organization is about.
How do you even do that?
I don't know.
We have a machine that we call the Sync Machine.
It just works.
What is that?
It's a sync machine.
That's not an explanation.
We don't gotta explain shit, okay?
Tell me how it works.
It's just made up.
Well, I can explain, but it will require a bit of background to understand.
Plus, we don't know. For all we know, Pewter's lying to us about how it works, and it's actually, you know, harvesting souls to destroy the world or something.
Background?
Alright, you know about the BBB?
I've heard of it. The blood-brain barrier, right? Inside the skull, there's an army of little teeny tiny soldiers that surround the brain. They protect the brain from bad stuff in the blood, right?
I don't know, maybe.
That's almost it, yeah.
The blood-brain barrier describes the architecture of the microvessels of the brain. It is a kind of shield that protects the brain. To get through, an object must be no larger than 0.4 nanometers. Objects too large to slip through the barrier cannot physically access the brain.
What about people who get stabbed?
So my corpse was on here?
Yeah.
It's a workbench. Don't see anything special. Ice cutting machine. Hey Iris, what's your opinion on saws? Asking for a friend.
Pew pew pew!
What the hell?
The box made me think of like a giant robot.
Why?
A what?
You know, from kaiju movies.
Again, what?
But it's just a box.
That caramel over there looks so good.
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, you're right. But if I tried to eat it in one bite, I'd break my jaw.
What are you talking about, Date? That's a cardboard box.
You started... Never mind.
Thing over here. Oil drum.
Hi, I'm Jemimon!
Iba, how does it feel to have your joke stolen?
You too.
Iba? Where are you, Iba? Any Odoroki Man chocolate? Tires on the forklift and the ground they're on are clearly frozen.
Hey, get out of my house!
What the hell?
I'm a poltergeist inside the circuit board.
What?
You said I was a ghost, right? Maybe I'm haunting the warehouse with spooky astral projections.
What are you talking about, Iris?
Hey, making ghost voices is supposed to be my thing, Iris? Good. Close enough. Yeah, it's just the machine. Talk to the forklift. Alright, what do you know about nanotechnology? Nanomachines,
Nanotech?
son?
Yeah. Technology related to really small things. Like really teeny tiny things. And when they make a machine,
They harden in response to physical trauma? You can't hurt me, Jack?
they're called nanomachines. I heard they use them a lot for medical and tech fields. Some of the cutting-edge nanomachines can even go inside your body and cure illnesses. They can even cure cancer. And they go beep, beep, beep. That's what Mom said.
I'm pretty sure they're too small to go beep, beep, beep.
Well, I don't know if it was like beep, beep or rrr. But anyway, nanotechnology costs tons of money. Only a few people can even afford it. My college professor said only the richest of the rich have nanotechnology. But he's pretty liberal, so...
Largely accurate. Nano is a prefix meaning 10 to the negative 9th power. A nanometer is therefore 0.0000000001 meters.
Was that the right number of zeros?
The sync machine uses machines approximately 2.16 nanometers long. Viruses are on average 20 to 970 nanometers. So sync nanomachines are far smaller than that. This allows them to access neural circuitry. During a sync, the nanomachines are used to write in the syncer's data.
Okay. You know anything about the Wadjet system?
I guess not.
No, I know what it is. It's the core programming behind AI, right?
That's right. What's wrong?
What?
You're shivering.
Acting hella sus, Iris.
It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
To borrow Pewter's explanation, with the advent of the Wadjet system, we can extract the data of the human psyche. This data is sent to the brain, which achieves the sync.
Okay, you have the basics down. Let me explain how syncing works. Syncers like me equip the sync gear and use it to access the subject's brain. Inside the helmet are nanocables, and on the tip of each of these cables is a special nanomachine. But the machine can't reach the brain through blood alone. Do you know why?
The BBB soldiers say, "Go away!" and push them back?
Well, yeah, kind of. But for the sync to work, we have to get the nanomachines into the brain itself. How do we do that?
Drill a hole in the skull?
No.
In Shovel Forge, you can use a pickaxe and...
No, it has nothing to do with tools. We don't have to open a hole. Skulls already have holes in them. One of those holes is the optic canal, which is a nerve canal located behind the eyes. The nanocables of the sync gear go through your eyes, then go to the back of your eye socket, then through the optic canal to the sea.
The sea?
The sea of brain cells, anyway.
That sounds kind of romantic.
Does it?
It's only a chunk of protein.
Creeps me out, man. Here's how sync works.
Once the nanocables arrive at their destination, they can begin the sync process.
Bro, Doctor, your brain is Swiss fucking cheese.
They slide into the brain like roots of a tree. And on the tip of each cable, the nanomachine sends and receives data.
And we can do this to people without a damn warrant?
This is controlled by the Wadjet system. And that's how the syncer and the subject exchange information.
Exchange?
Think of it this way. The human brain has a max capacity of one psyche, one consciousness.
Multiple instances of consciousness inside one brain can cause a total collapse of higher brain functions.
I mean, maybe for you, Date's just hashtag built different.
You know how a car only has one steering wheel? If there were two, there would be accidents all over the place.
But it could be, if we're going back to the whole Date used to be a psycho murderer, is that the consciousness inside Date is somebody else's? And that the process of the transferal like wiped out certain memories? But like his core personality is somebody else's?
Well, don't some planes have two control sticks?
Okay, maybe it wasn't the best metaphor. What I'm trying to say is that the human body can only hold one person. If you try to have two people inside one brain, it will break.
I see.
Or his original personality is being suppressed via the drugs they keep referencing, something like that. Or that could be the same for... It doesn't necessarily have to be Date, but, you know, there's definitely probably somebody used to be a psycho murderer and is not anymore.
Because of this, the syncer's data goes inside the subject's brain, and the only thing inside the subject's mind at the time of the sync are their memories, like a house with no one inside. We syncers break into the house, look for clues, and leave, all within 6 minutes.
There's a time limit?
Yes, or else the house will collapse on our heads.
Now, how did we learn there's a 6-minute time limit, I wonder? Could be that maybe there was something went wrong.
The neural circuits would become too deeply entwined with one another. To put it simply, the syncer would be trapped inside the subject's house.
That seems to vibe with what I'm saying, the idea of somebody else's consciousness being trapped in Date. So that would allow for Date to be the original killer, in a sense, but it's not him at the same time.
Thank you for explaining it. I don't completely understand how sync works, but still.
Just don't tell anyone. This is extremely confidential.
And it would kind of make sense for why it's a state secret, because it wouldn't be fair to arrest Date, who is essentially a different person just in the killer's body. Now the question is, where did Date's consciousness go, or original Date?
It's okay, I won't. Date, tell me this.
We'd have to think who would have maybe been an abyss that would have been syncing with original Date 6 years ago, and would then have inherited his personality of a psycho murderer. That would have to go to prison. I mean, that could maybe... I don't know. That could maybe vibe with Falco, like... Because there is the core issue of, like, what Pewter told us a long time ago, before we learned Falco's backstory, does not vibe with... Like, Pewter's story of the original Cyclops killer did not vibe with what Falco said. And that could explain why. So if it was Date and Falco, let's say Falco was a member of Abyss, like the body of Falco was a member of Abyss, that would explain why they kind of share memories, right? Why Date has the memories of the accident, plus why he has memories of Iris, Because he still has some of the original memories of himself back when he was Falco. And so then Dante's murderous consciousness gets cemented into Falco, who has to go to prison. But technically that body has done nothing wrong, which is why he has to be kept a secret or something. I feel like we're slightly onto something. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it has to go that way, but that kind of all makes some sense to me.
Who did you sync with yesterday?
Didn't I show you his picture?
And it would also kind of... So with the whole thing with So Dante's body is So's kid, but it's not actually his kid because it's a different mind in there.
Congressman So Sajima.
Or it could be... Well, there's two ways to think of it. Either A, he considers the body of Date his kid, or the mind of Date his kid.
So that's why you know so much about him.
But you've never met him, right?
I haven't, I swear. Hey, Date. You saw my corpse here, right?
So yeah, it may not necessarily be Date and Falco or whatnot, but I think the core idea that somebody's consciousness gets trapped in somebody else's body, I feel like that's what they're setting up.
I did. I'm sure of it.
And in So's dream, you saved me from getting killed.
Yeah.
And then somehow, I resurrected.
Yeah.
Date, that means you're... Achoo!
Date, is the cold too much for Iris?
Yeah, I'm freezing too. Iris, let's get out of here for now.
Roger that!
I don't know. We're definitely starting to cut to the core of the mysteries here, it feels like. Now that we have an actual... I never knew if they were going to explain the syncing or if it was just kind of like a... It just works, which is fine. It's not really... Prior to this, it wasn't necessarily important to know exactly how syncing working, other than like it just does because it's like space magic. But now that we've been given an explanation, we have to assume it's important. Like the actual mechanics of it.
I'm so hungry!
And it could also be that maybe when it comes to like the memories being, so if Date maybe does have two minds inside his brain, is like another idea that the killer's consciousness got, maybe Date was himself all along, and it's just the killer's consciousness got stuck inside of him, and that's what the drugs are for, to suppress that. Suppress that consciousness, and the space that would have normally been his memories is being taken up by the alternate self.
Tessa?
Which is why he lost everything, but he's still able to make... But that would also be a question. Like, maybe it's like new memories are overriding the extra consciousness inside of him.
Why are you here?
And that could also explain, like, in the Somnium, Date seeing himself, it's not necessarily because Date's body was the one who was committing the killings, but more just because he has that consciousness still inside of his head. He sees it as his current body, as opposed to whatever he may have looked like back then. There's a few different ways you can go with it, and you don't necessarily have to go in this direction, but just brainstorming some ideas.
I told Date I was hungry, so...
I've always wanted to eat here.
I'll have my usual, Ota.
Yes, right away.
Oda flew to the kitchen. Iris watched him go and took a seat. Oda's gonna poison our food. But yeah, Iris is probably still the biggest mystery. We don't really know what the hell's going on with her.
Date, you're drooling.
Oh, I'm just really hungry.
More like really thirsty.
Meow.
Huh?
What are you doing?
Oh, you don't know? It's good luck to imitate a cat in front of one of these.
Really?
Meow? Guess I'll have good luck.
Wrong. You got
Hey,
played.
Date. I've got this video of girls in bikinis washing this armored car. Wanna watch?
Oh, that's tame as hell. What are you, fucking 8 years old? What the hell up, Oda?
Absolutely not.
Armored car?
Oh, that's Hayashi Samba's Hayashi Vangole.
I told you to stop casting curses on my ass.
Who?
Some celebrity signature? Oda's cooking in the kitchen.
Kuroda Kazuaki's grilled tongue with salt.
Posable chopstick.
Mayumi's juice with mold.
Bad. I was clicking too fast.
Salt, pepper, a blend of red cayenne and spices, and an unidentified liquid.
I mean, who doesn't enjoy some good mold juice?
Hey, Tessa, could you kick that bucket there?
Sure.
Don't do that.
Like this?
Yeah, but more.
Like this?
This is awesome!
I did not realize there was someone more perverted than Date.
I don't even get it.
Date, a Martian!
That's just a stool.
That's how you know you're truly lost. I don't even get it, man. Bookshelf, it's got stickers on the side. Important stickers. Plot relevant stickers. Nothing but a window. Singing door?
Ring ring. Who's on the phone?
Who cares?
Damn. Got our ass.
Date, wanna have a pillow fight?
Nope.
Tessa, not in the store, please.
You guys technically aren't open. This isn't a store. It's November, but the calendar says January. Looking closely at it, the year is wrong.
Hey, what has two hands on its face?
A mom playing peekaboo!
Yeah, exactly!
It says good luck. Was it say fortune or good luck? Make up your damn mind. Alright. You looked at? What's your usual?
Omelet rice.
Okay. It's fine.
Ota's omelet rice is so good it gives me stomach cramps.
I don't think that's supposed to happen.
Is that a compliment?
You're embarrassing me.
Well, Ota appears to have taken it as a compliment.
Why? Because he puts poison in there to keep you weak and debilitated. Been here before?
Yeah, I have.
Have you met Ota's mother, Mayumi?
Yeah, but I don't think she likes me.
That's fair.
That's not true.
No, she calls her a witch and hates her, which is fairly valid.
Mom is just jealous of how pretty you are, Tessa.
Shut the hell up.
Not very reassuring. Whether out of jealousy or otherwise, she still doesn't like Iris.
Where's your mom?
She's in the living room. I think she's watching TV.
How about you? What are you doing here?
I was just doing some meditation, lying on the ground.
He means sleeping.
Date, why are you with Tessa?
We are
Not shovel forage.
on a date.
Oh, a date. Huh. A date?
I'm on an investigation, and she wouldn't let me go.
Date, I have some delicious fugu eggs. I promise they're not poisoned. Would you like some?
It's okay, Oda. I will not let Date date. What's her name? What's her name? Iris?
No thanks. I'm fine.
I categorically refuse. I'll end this damn Let's Play before it happens. Like, the only winning move is not to play. You're good at cooking?
Yeah, my dad taught me when I was little.
You're making me something too, right?
Absolutely not.
Sure, my treat, Date.
But they're not poison, right? Where's Renju?
You're still looking for him? Well, like I told you before, I don't know.
Oda's cooking in the kitchen.
Iris, about your coming back to life.
Oh yeah, Oda, I don't know if you know about that, but Iris died.
Hold it!
A couple times, actually.
What do you mean coming back to life?
How's that tell Oda about Iris' resurrection?
Date jumped into a parallel world where I'm still alive.
Tessa died?
No, that's a different game. We don't jump into parallel worlds, okay?
Yep.
About the parallel world.
Hey, can you tell me about this parallel world idea in more detail?
Oh, sure. How should I explain this? Well, Oh, I know. Let's play rock, paper, scissors.
No.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah. If we tie, nothing happens. We just shake hands. If I win, you have to give me something.
What if I win?
I'll do anything.
Anything?
Okay, it's very important we tie here.
Mm-hmm. Anything.
Date, your heart rate is rapidly increasing.
Hopefully he has a heart attack and perishes.
Why exactly is that?
All right, let's do this.
Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Paper. Paper.
Shoot.
No!
Fuck yeah!
Okay.
Date, calm down. You're going to pop a blood vessel.
Aw, I lost.
God damn it.
But I made a promise. What do you want me to do?
Go away.
If it's no trouble, I want to see your...
See what?
Fingertips?
Let me see... See...
I will kill you if you say it.
Self-destruct 41205. He doesn't want to see him.
See... seal. I meant seal.
Seal?
Not the smoothest recovery.
Oh, I get it. You want to see me imitate a seal.
Yeah, sure, I guess. Whatever the fuck gets Date off, man. It's not as weird as Oda's kicking the bucket shit, alright?
No, Iris, please.
Okay, well, here it goes, I guess. Nom 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 nom.
I don't think seals make that second noise.
Tessa, what are you doing?
The illusion is broken. Oda's now a free man. He realizes that Tessa's cringe.
We just played rock, paper, scissors, right? You won, and you made me be a seal for some reason. But in a different timeline, maybe we tied.
No, Date would never lose.
Or maybe I got a prize from you.
Wrong.
If I had chosen rock or paper...
So those timelines are what I'd call a parallel world.
You picked paper, dumbass.
So you think I jumped from a world in which you were dead to this one where you're alive?
No, that's not what happened.
That's what I think.
Wrong.
Huh. Parallel world, huh? I can't believe it, but...
Sure you can. Parallel worlds exist.
Nope.
Do you know about the Mandela effect? Or the Booba Kiki effect? Or the 100 million balls? If I explain that, would you believe me?
Sounds really interesting, Tessa.
No, it doesn't.
I know some urban legends like that.
I'm gonna throw a damn condiment at you.
The spatial temporal man, and the lost friend, and the story of two sisters.
Yeah, what about Ice 9? Heard people talking about it. Alright, start me with the million balls.
This world is full of really interesting stuff. But you know the most interesting thing of all?
No, what?
That humans exist at all.
The universe developed in a very particular way to get here. If things were even slightly different, well, the galaxies and solar system and all of that might not have existed at all.
And that means humans would never be born. And even if everything happened exactly like that, The probability of human life developing is extremely low. And yet, here we are.
Yeah, but it's like really big, so you know it'll happen eventually. It's not that crazy. Spatial temporal man?
Yeah, it's sort of like a common experience. A lot of people have experienced waking up in an uninhabited world they've never seen before.
Define a lot of people.
And most of them describe seeing the same person. The spatial temporal man. He's supposed to be an ordinary old man wearing work clothes. The spatial temporal man guides people back to the real world. He tells them, this world is not for you, or something.
I'd like to meet him someday.
This world is not for you. What about the others?
So, this elementary school kid, let's call him C. He goes to school and there's a bunch of things on the floor. Postcards, towels, a coffee cup, rice bowls, a sink, lots of stuff. But C realized that those were all things from his own house.
How did they get to the classroom?
No one knows. It's not like anyone did it on purpose or there was a thief or anything.
Maybe something happened that made two parallel worlds fuse.
Yeah, maybe.
Were the kids lying? Okay, the lost friend.
There's this kid, A. He's in elementary school. Well, A had this close friend named Suzuki. One day, after school, they're walking home together. A turns around to tell Suzuki a joke, and Suzuki is laughing his butt off. And he's laughing and laughing, and he laughs so hard that his eyes fall out of their sockets.
We've all been there.
What?
Well, they were hanging down out of his eye sockets. The nerves were still connected, but
You just pop that bad boy back in there, probably.
A is of course in shock and doesn't know what to do. Suzuki just takes his eyeballs and jams them back into his eye sockets and keeps walking like nothing happened. So A asks him about it. Like, hey, are you okay? Your eyes fell out. A is really concerned for his friend, you know? But Suzuki just says, yeah, I'm fine. He doesn't say anything about it. And by now, A is really curious. But he's not getting any answers. So they just part ways and go home. The story only gets weirder from here. The next day, A goes to school, and Suzuki's not there. A is confused and asks his teacher about it.
But he never existed at all.
Hey, where's Suzuki today? And the teacher says, Suzuki? Who's that? There's no Suzuki in this class. A says, what are you talking about? And he goes and asks all of his classmates about Suzuki. They all say the same thing. I don't know him. There's no Suzuki in this class.
Did they make that face when they say it?
So that kid must have jumped into a parallel world without Suzuki.
That's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't Suzuki just be an imaginary friend or something?
No, A was really serious about remembering Suzuki.
It is weird, and there's no way you can pop your eyeballs back in like that.
Maybe you can't.
Well, not necessarily. There's such a thing as a dislocated eye.
Bro, let's not talk about fucking eyes popping out of heads, man.
It actually isn't too hard to put your eye back in if it falls out.
Bro, shut up.
Ota is correct. Dislocated eyes are easy to replace in their sockets.
This is personal trauma for Date.
As long as none of the nerves or blood vessels were damaged, there are usually no lasting negative effects either.
But that doesn't prove this Suzuki exists.
Well, I guess not, but...
The two sisters?
So, there's this girl? Let's call her B. She's practicing piano in her room, and her little sister is watching TV in the same room. B asks her to turn the TV volume down so she can hear her piano playing, you know? So B goes back to practicing, playing a little bit. But her sister doesn't turn the volume down. She's not listening at all. So B turns around to scold her. She was really gonna let her sister have it, but she's gone. She's nowhere to be seen. She thinks, I wonder where she went. But then B hears her sister at the door. I'm home. B runs to the front door and sees her sister and her parents standing there. So B asks, when did you go outside? But her mom says, what are you talking about? She went shopping with me. B is really confused by all of this, of course. She asks her little sister about it. and she learns that her favorite TV show was on. And before she went shopping with her mom, she was deciding whether or not she wanted to stay and watch it or not.
So depending on her decision, a parallel world was made.
Yeah.
What about the parallel world where they got hit by a car?
What B saw might have been from the world where her sister stayed behind.
Uh-huh. Anything else?
I know a ton of stories like this. Like being suddenly transported 1 year into the future. And there's a missing persons report out for you. You look down at your phone, but you realize that it's not yours. It's not the one you remember having. You look through the contacts, and it's filled with names you don't recognize.
Sounds scary.
There's more, too. Like this town where everyone is Japanese,
Oh, that sounds horrible.
but they're speaking a completely different language. And all the signs and magazines and stuff have different letters. And it's not like Korea or China. It's the Japan we know, but the language is different.
So how would they share this?
That's a prime example of a parallel world.
Like, these people are getting transported to parallel worlds? Okay. Alright, whatever. Maybe that's happened to you, Dots, and that's why you can't remember shit.
Imagine a box full of ping pong balls, labeled 1 to 100 million.
How you gonna write 100 million on a ping pong ball?
Would you be able to pick out the one?
Probably.
Not likely.
But what if there were 100 million of you?
Well, then one of us would definitely pick up the one.
Exactly! The birth of humanity is so improbable that it's basically a miracle. But if there were multiple universes...
Then it wouldn't be strange that at least one of them had humans in it.
Or, I mean, just the one universe that's really big.
She is describing the anthropic principle. I may have underestimated her intelligence.
Okay. The Bobo Kiki effect.
Dante, look at this picture.
Iris pulled up a picture on her phone.
There's a famous experiment regarding this picture.
Oh, this actually seems kind of familiar.
You show this image to people around the world and ask a question. Which one is Booba and which one is Kiki? Believe it or not, 98% of people asked have the same answer.
I mean, this is definitely a Kiki.
The rounder one is Booba and the jagged one is Kiki.
Obviously.
Isn't that weird? In other words, everyone thinks that Booba is a certain way and Kiki is the other. It applies universally across languages and cultures. It's like something ingrained inside all humans.
It's because one is sharp and key is a sharp syllable. That was my reasoning.
Like worshipping the sun and the sea.
And like booba, or boba, sounds like booba, which is round-ish. So the roundy one has to be booba.
Or thinking that the mother is soft and the father is jagged. Regardless of your culture or background, you probably think this way. It's what Jung called the collective unconscious. There exists a second psychic system of a collective, universal, and impersonal nature, which is identical in all individuals. That's what Jung said about it.
Yeah, but what if you're just hashtag built different?
Think of it like bamboo. Bamboo stalks look like individual plants since they're separated, but underground, they're all connected. Human psyches might be like that too. Connected at a subconscious level. That's...
The parallel world?
Yeah! You saved me in the dream, right? And dreams are all about our subconscious minds. So if you follow the roots...
You get to another bamboo stalk.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. The Mandela effect.
Do you know Nelson Mandela?
Everyone knows this one, though.
Well, yeah. The former president of South Africa. He helped abolish apartheid.
He died in 2013, but a strange thing happened. When the news broke, people all over the world thought, didn't Mandela die in prison in 1980? That's the Mandela effect. It's when your memory and history have discrepancies. There are lots of examples, like the name of this kid's book with the bears having different spellings.
Oh, yeah.
Or people remembering that
Can we-
Kennedy was assassinated in a 4-seat car.
Are we not allowed to say the Berenstein Bears? Is that copywritten? Did we not get the rights to say we have to say kids' book?
But in our world, he was in a 6-seat car.
Huh. I thought it was a 4-seater too.
I don't remember what I thought because I don't care.
Or that electric mouse from that video game. You probably remember the tip of its tail being black.
No?
It wasn't?
Nope, it's all yellow. And the design didn't change.
What are you talking about?
Oh.
Nobody
Lines
thinks that.
from movies, company logos, historical events, and little things. The Mandela effect is everywhere. Why do you think that is?
Because those memories are from parallel worlds?
That would explain it, I guess.
It's probably more likely that it's small details that people don't really remember. You know? People stop caring about... I think this is gonna sound like... cynical, but people stopped caring about South Africa once apartheid was kind of gone. And it's not in the news as much.
When did you two get so knowledgeable?
Oh, I don't know.
Tessa is always writing about this stuff on the internet. That's why I decided to research it too. That's how I learned all this stuff. Oh, hey, I know about conspiracies and secret societies too. I find that stuff fascinating.
Oh god, oh no, Oda. Bro, you're not beating the cringe allegations.
If you want, we could talk about those.
No, I'm not talking about fucking conspiracy theories with you, Oda, alright? I don't trust that you're gonna have the ones that are like, oh, that's kind of harmless. You're gonna have like the fucking really harmful conspiracy theories.
Maybe next time. Now where's that omelet rice?
Done!
Like, Oda's ass is not talking about how Finland isn't real. His ass is talking about something much more sinister. He laid out an omelet rice in front of me and Iris. Iris grabbed a spoon with a huge smile on her face. Why are we acting like somebody's about to get shot in the head?
Bon appetit!
Picked up a spoonful. Actually, she tried to pick up a spoonful. She's been stabbed. You got the stabs materialized. Oh, where like her arms messed up?
Tessa, are you okay?
I'm fine. My hand slipped.
Mm-hmm. Take off your clothes.
Let's eat.
Iris and I ate the omelet rice in near silence. No conversation. Sound of the spoon hitting the plate. Dinner echoed with it. The diner. Before long,
Thanks for the food!
Iris was totally re-energized. Her face was back to her usual easy smile.
That was good. Ota, your omelet rice is seriously the best.
Yeah, it was actually really good.
Aw, thanks. I owe it to my dad. He taught me well.
Paid for the food and stood to go.
Let's get going, Iris.
Thanks again!
Thank you! Come back soon!
Nope. Alrighty, we will go to our next spot in the next video. So some interesting little stuff there that we're maybe setting up, the parallel worlds and whatnot. Dunno, that could also be a red herring, or it could be, you know, what we're actually doing story-wise. I'm not super into it, just because Parallel Worlds is like very oversaturated in media in the last like couple decades, it feels like. So anything that's not that is going to be maybe a little bit more interesting to me, but we'll see how they handle it. If it's executed well, it's not really an issue. But yeah, I'm ExtraCheesy87. Stay tuned for the next part. And bye, guys.